is in a laziness, the tiredness, and the mushad. It's just the agita. It's just part of the procedure that I had. So that's why I'm going to see him today, just to make sure that all that is copacetic. I've got a few minutes, so I figure I'd take a little ride. Now, right over here on my left, which you may or may not see, because the camera's moving around, is where my heart doctor is, a jail, and it's part of their cardiology department. And then they have a little surgery center there. On the right side was In Shape Gym. I'll take you down here for a little bit. I got a few more minutes yet. I'm running a little bit early, so what the hell. I'm about a minute away from the doctor's office, so if I take you for a little ride around town, it's not going to hurt. On the left, that you can't see, there used to be a shopping center. It's still there, however, a meat market went in there, a big wholesale package store, which has nothing to do with me at this point, and a doctor's office right next door. So let's put the doctor right next to the package store. Same buildings, basically, just with a big old wall between them. And up here we got our Subaru dealer and so on. We'll go to the back road here for a minute. Let me turn here. Yeah, we're going to run the light. What the hell? Don't you dare run that light, because I'm going to run it. Shag Hair Studio. Never heard of it there. Huh. Okay. This is a trailer park next to me that we just passed, and there's another entrance to it coming up in front of us next to the fire hydrant on the right side. And it's actually a nice park. It's not something that I would consider being a typical park, if you know what I mean. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that, some of the parks around here are not that great, let's put it that way. But this one is it's not a bad park, actually. If I didn't have all my hobbies and all my, where I needed to have my hobby shop, I wouldn't mind living there, because then you don't have to worry about anything. But it's just, I got too many things going on. Yeah, there's a grade school over here on the left. This is called Brushy Plains Road. Let's take a quick ride up to Snake Hill. Now, I don't know how up to date Google Earth is. Snake Hill Road used to be, well, let's see if what they've done, all right? Used to, for years, for as long as I can remember, this is called Snake Hill Road, and it's for a reason. It's not really named Snake Hill Road, but it acquired that name, again, for as long as I can remember. There is, however, a Snake Hill Road, but it's nowhere near this. So it does make it confusing. So if we're talking about this particular part, we say Snake Hill. Right? Just to identify it from Snake Hill Road. But some people still call it Snake Hill Road. But it's Brushy Plains Road. Now at one time, the wife and I bought a condo down here, which was a nice condo actually. Just I'm not used to condo life, and I just couldn't get used to it, so we sold it. We doubled our money, which was nice, but you know, we sold it. I just couldn't get used to it. That's all there is to it. Now this is part of Snake, but it isn't actually the snake that we were talking about. I'm gonna have to hold the camera probably. And again, this isn't part of it, even though it's part of it. But from that point on, it gets a little snaky. Now, what happened was down here, where it says bump, now if this is the new portion of it, I'll draw you a picture to let you know how it used to be, because it was dangerous. Trucks could not go up and down this. Equipment would tip over. It still looks like the old one. Yeah, okay, so this goes this way. Let's see if they changed up here or not. Well, they did make it a little bit easier, but this used to be really bad, and it used to make a sharp turn to the right. So they took away a lot of this. This is all new. All right, this was not like this. All right, so they did make a lot of change already, because where that squad car is where you used to come out. So it used to be way up there. Excuse me. And so this is all new. So they did take away a lot of it. Because like I said, trucks and things used to tip over and, you know, going down it. And then coming up it, they couldn't make it because the truck didn't have enough power. Because it was just a bad turn and steep. Really steep, to a point where, like I say, the trucks just couldn't make it. And I'm going to turn around here and head back. That's it, let's drive like idiots. Yeah, okay, I'll drive like one too. Go ahead. Back up right here, and then I can turn around again. All right. So you can see the no truck sign there. So how it used to go is you'd come up here. See, I don't know. Google may have this the old way before they started making these changes. They're not done yet, but it's on the Brantford, North Brantford town line, as you can see. Now up in front of us on the left-hand side, you see the machinery. There's a road there. This road used to go that way, and it would go up the hill, as you can see. And then you go up to where that tree is, up behind all that, and it would make a sharp right. One continuous sharp turn, no stop sign or anything, and that would bring you straight down to, let me see if I can see where it would bring you here. Right about here where this road starts. Yeah, actually you can see it right there, see it? And it'll bring you right down here and around into this curve. Well, what was happening, trucks were going over the edge, because this here wasn't here, this Jersey area. And the fence that was there wasn't holding them. And going up it was just as bad, because like I say, it was so steep and so sharp that you couldn't, a big truck, if you didn't, even a car, I mean, if you didn't have some power, you're not going to make it up it. And even then, you'd see all kinds of marks in the road where tires were spinning for the cars to try to get up it. And it was like that for, like I say, years. As far back as I can remember, it's always been that way. Well, now they finally started to change it this year. And they're straightening it out some. So we went on some of the new stuff. And as we were going up the hill originally, I'll put some marks on it, you know, some titles. On the right side, you can see they were digging. Well, what they're doing is they're just straightening that out so it'll blend in with the new tar that I just came down on. And that's what they're doing. So it's going to have a little bit of a bend to it, but it's going to be more of a straight with a little wind than it is a actual snake type thing, because it was bad. I'm surprised it took them as long as they have. Like I say, I have been driving for 54 years or better, and that's always been there. And I remember it when my mom and dad used to drive and my grandparents used to drive. So that's been that way for 70, 80 years. But I guess more and more traffic coming by and more going on, you know, it just started to get a little bit more complicated. And even though cars are getting safer, some are getting faster, and you know, and this became a main road from Brantford to North Brantford, so I guess they finally decided to straighten it out, which was a good idea. However, a lot of us are going to miss it because it was like a nostalgia thing. You know, we're still going to classify it as Snake Hill because if we want to identify it, people will know. You know, the new generation may not realize it anymore, so eventually it may lose its nickname. But for the most part, that's always going to be Snake Hill. Alright, so anyway, I'm at the doctor's office. And he told me to try something. I was telling him that, you know, I've been having a little agita lately. You know, like a morning sickness type thing in the morning, you know, where you're kind of like nauseous, you know. Because what he says, that could be just a reflux. He says, even though you're not feeling it, you know, in your throat or in your heartburn, he says it could be just hanging around in your stomach and it's going to make you feel sick. So what he told me to try, so if you guys ever want to try this, he says take Maalox and milk of magnesia. He says, and put like a quarter of a shot glass of Maalox and a quarter of a shot glass of milk of magnesia together, mix it up and take it. He says, and if you start feeling better, you'll know that that's what it is, because what that does is that neutralizes the acids in your stomach. He says you can even take a half a shot glass of Maalox and a half a shot glass of milk of magnesia, but don't take any more than that. He says, and you don't be taking it, you know, like every 2 or 3 hours or anything. He says, take it if you see a difference and it seems to help within the first hour or so and it gets you through. He says, then at that point, you know what you got to do. You got to start getting the medication, you know, either by prescription, you know, and start taking the purple pill, a Nexium or something like that. He says you can buy over the counter, he says, but over the counter is only half the amount. In other words, if you take 40 milligrams of Nexium a day, you know, which is one pill, you buy it over the counter, it's only going to be 20 milligram pills, so you're going to have to take 2 of them. So he says sometimes it's cheaper to take it the other way. But meanwhile, I'm going to go pull over here and pick up, because I don't have any Maalox or milk of magnesia, so I'm going to pick up some of that and He says it's much better than Pepto-Bismol or milk or that other stuff there, whatever, the pink stuff. He says that stuff will turn your stool different colors. You know, he says do this and that'll tell you what your problems are. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to let the